Okay, so what if you could just replace the entire global economy with one single, totally transparent AI? I know, it sounds wild, right? But that's the core idea behind something called the Public AI Manifesto. And we're not talking about some new app or a little market trend here. No, this is a blueprint to completely rewrite the very foundations of how our world works.
And it kicks off with this incredibly powerful line. The age of speculation is over. The age of transparency begins now. I mean, that sets the tone, doesn't it? It's throwing down the gauntlet, directly challenging our current economic system, which, let's be honest, can feel pretty opaque. This is all about a massive shift to a world where every single action is, at least in theory, out in the open for everyone to see.
So, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. It's a tale of two worlds, right? On one hand, you've got the past, our current system, which the manifesto says is driven by stuff like guesswork, greed, and panic, all happening in these cloudy, opaque markets. But on the other hand, you have the future they're proposing, a world of precision, total visibility, and something they call machine governance, all locked in on public ledgers.
And this is where it gets really radical. The whole point here isn't to just patch up the system we have now. Oh no, the manifesto is literally calling for the end of economics as we know it. It's proposing a total successor to massive institutions like central banks and even the stock market.
And just to be absolutely crystal clear about the scale of this ambition, the public AI is not an upgrade, it's a full-on replacement. The manifesto couldn't be more direct about this. We're not talking about a software update or a small fix. This is positioning public AI to completely tear out and replace the financial wiring we've been using for centuries. It's a fundamental reboot of the whole system.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how on earth would a system like this even work? Well, it all starts with the foundation that the manifesto calls a new constitution of truth. Think of it this way. It takes the core idea of decentralized record-keeping, the stuff that makes blockchains so interesting, and just blows it up to a massive global scale.
And the heart of that new constitution is the public AI ledger. The idea is pretty straightforward. It's a shared, unchangeable database that's meant to be the ultimate source of trust. In this system, every single economic action would be recorded for everyone to see, creating this kind of shared accountability between all of us and the machines.
So this ledger is built on a few key pillars. We're talking about trust on a planetary scale. Every transaction is verifiable. The data is basically incorruptible. But honestly, the real kicker, the most critical part, is that last one. There's no central control. The whole thing is designed so that no single government, no single corporation can be in charge.
Okay, so you've got this ungameable ledger as the foundation. But who or what is actually managing the economy? Well, the manifesto proposes something it calls an AI central bank, and the idea here is to completely replace what it sees as the guesswork of human-led policy with the cold, hard, data-driven precision of algorithms.
And this table really lays out the before and after picture perfectly. You see, instead of human central banks making policy, you get transparent AI algorithms. Instead of waiting for quarterly reports, you get real-time dashboards. The whole dynamic shifts from speculation and opacity over to visibility and precision. It's moving from human guesswork to machine governance.
In this next line, I think just perfectly captures the feel of this new system. The new economy has no closing bell. It never sleeps, it calculates. Just think about that. An economy that isn't tied to human schedules or Wall Street hours. It's a continuous, relentless system that's always on, always processing, always calculating.
All right, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds enormous, maybe even a little abstract, right? An AI central bank, a global ledger. But here's where the manifesto gets really clever. It brings this whole massive idea down to a starting point that is surprisingly simple and incredibly tangible. It says this entire revolution kicks off with something you and I handle almost every single day.
And what is it? It's the simple receipt. Yeah, that little piece of paper or that email confirmation you get. According to the manifesto, that is the foundational building block of this entire new economic order. It's the one piece of verifiable proof that a transaction actually happened and that value was exchanged.
And the process they lay out is just 4 simple steps. Step 1, you go buy something, say fuel at a gas station. Step 2, you share that verified receipt by uploading it to the public ledger. Step 3, for doing that, you get a reward, like cashback or loyalty points. And then step 4, this is the magic part, your data from that one simple purchase becomes what they call digital gold, the fuel for this new economy.
And this would completely flip the script on how businesses compete.
I mean, think about it. The focus would shift away from just price or flashy marketing. Instead, it's all about the quality and completeness of the data a business provides. In this world, companies would literally compete based on how rich and verifiable the information on their receipts is. Transparent data becomes the ultimate commodity.
So, let's pull the camera back out for a second and look at the big picture again, because this really isn't just about receipts and cashback rewards. The true long-term vision here is to build what they call an era of measurable truth. We're talking about a brand new, foundational layer of infrastructure for civilization itself.
This timeline really helps put it all in perspective. You know, for ages, the basis of economic trust was physical stuff, right? Like gold. Then we moved on to things like oil and government-backed fiat currency. Well, the manifesto argues that the next logical, evolutionary step is a system where our trust is based on something new, transparent, verifiable data.
And if that happens, it would totally change how we even measure a nation's strength. You know, we'd no longer be looking at things like gold reserves, interest rates, or promises from governments. Instead, a country's success will be measured by totally new metrics. How efficient are its AI systems? How intelligent is its resource management? And how ethically designed are its public ledgers? I mean, that is a complete paradigm shift.
And this really brings the whole idea full circle, doesn't it? That small, everyday act of uploading a receipt is suddenly framed as this massive, foundational contribution to a new global economy. It's the perfect link between our tiny individual actions and this huge, world-changing vision.
And the manifesto doesn't really end with a neat conclusion. It ends with the challenge. It presents this future almost as an inevitability, and then it puts the question right back on us. The question is not whether this will happen, it is how soon you are ready to join it. Wow, it's a really provocative way to end, leaving all of us to wonder, what would a world run purely by measurable truth actually look and feel like?